The good life, full of fun, seems to be the...
Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. Another big exciting day here in Joe's kitchen. All right, so what are we gonna make today? We're gonna make something fun, easy, quick. I grabbed my little cupcake roll because you're thinking, wow, he's gonna make some dessert. Not making dessert today. What we're gonna make today is a pizza cupcake roll. We're gonna call them the Sicilian or the Brooklyn pizza cupcake roll. I don't know why, it just sounds kind of cool. But in any case, what we're gonna make are pizzas, mini pizzas, and we're gonna put them in a cupcake dish. We're gonna cook them in a cupcake dish. So you're gonna roll out a pizza dough, if you will, with what you wanna put in there. Any ingredient goes. I'll show you how we like to do it in our family. I'm gonna roll it, cut it, pop them in here, and we're gonna bake it, pull them out, plate it. It's going to be absolutely delicious. And these are fun, they're easy, they're quick. They're also something that's nice to do as a quick treat, like an appetizer. You can certainly use them as an entree, put 3 or 4 on a plate. Kids love them, they're fun to make, so if you want to join, bring your family in to join you in the kitchen, they're also fun to make. But I'm going to show you how easy they are to make, and prep time and finish is probably around a half hour, all right? So let's get started. I already went ahead and made some pizza dough, okay? So I got a large order of pizza dough right there for you, okay? And then I've got about 2 cups of sauce. That's some homemade sauce that I made, I gotta tell you. Molto di leche, okay? And then we got about 3/4 of a cup or a cup of Parmesan Romano mix. And then what I did here is about 2 cups of shredded mozzarella. Gosh, that's good. And then some flour. We've got salt, pepper. We got olive oil over here. Oh, I don't know if you guys knew, got to do my shameless plug, Vito and Joe's olive oil, my own version of olive oil from Cooking and Telling with Joe. And it's got a nice little story. Some people have asked me what that picture is. That's actually a photograph of my family, the Borio family. They run a restaurant called Borio's Restaurant. And that's my grandmother and grandfather when they went back to Italy in the 1950s. So I thought it'd be a great fitting testament to them and their journey about coming to the United States. Both of them phenomenal cooks and bakers, and certainly that's where our love and passion comes from, cooking. So we've got here about 1 pound of sweet sausage. Now you can use anything you want, guys, so I'm just showing you what I do. But this is a sweet sausage. Now I went ahead and cooked it, and one thing I just want to show you is what I did here is I browned it. You see how nice and brown that is? I think a lot of times people just cook the meat and you don't realize it if you brown it. If you cook it beyond what you think is cooking it, it browns it and it brings out those flavors, the depths of flavors. It browns and caramelizes those sugars. It makes it so delicious. Totally changes the whole flavor. So we've got that, and then I've got some fresh basil. Now I've got a plant over there, a beautiful plant that we're going to pull the basil off. But when I did the ingredients, I'm known to forget a few ingredients when I go over it because I'm so excited to share stuff with you. So, if you guys don't love basil, if that isn't just pesto, I can't remember if it's basil or oregano that if you smell it, it improves your memory. It's got to be oregano because I can't remember when I smell the basil. Okay, and I did salt, pepper, olive oil. Okay, so we're good. So real easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our pizza dough and you're just going to dust your surface. And let's see how long it takes for me to get flour all over myself. I'm thinking maybe early on here in the show. Then I'm going to take the pizza dough. Now I've got the oven at about 450 degrees. You want to get that oven hot. And I'll show you one of the tips here as we go along. And this is quick and easy, but one of the tips is that you don't want to bring your sauce all the way to the edge. You want dough to dough when you roll it. What's a mistake I see a lot of times people make, and then the roll falls apart. So you don't want it to do that, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to just get it covered. Now I had covered the bowl, if you will, and then therefore the dough with a little olive oil so it didn't stick, okay? And how am I doing so far? So good? I got a lighter colored shirt on, so you probably won't be able to tell. Now what you're going for here is a rectangle, okay? And you can roll it. I got some rollers, but I'm not saying it's a bad idea. Sometimes you need to. And you should be about room temp, which this is. If you can make it, you're going to do 2 rises in your pizza dough. You're going to let it rise for about a half hour to 45 minutes if you guys aren't familiar with making it. I've got a couple of videos on making pizza dough. And I gave you a couple of tricks. They're simple little tricks, but I didn't do that today. But you can, this is a nice, easy working dough. But sometimes if you make a dough and you let it set and you're using like a bread flour, it gets really tough. So you can throw a little alcohol in there, like a wine, and the wine breaks up the gluten fibers and it makes it easier to spread. So, and you can do anything with pizza dough, but essentially it's just water, flour, yeast, salt, a little olive oil, and a little thyme. A lot of love. So there you go. It's like doing a massage, right? Isn't that cool? Now our goal here, like I said, is you want to get like a rectangle. So isn't that cute? I got a little roller there. So rolling pins are great. The negative on a rolling pin with pizza dough, sometimes you're kicking out a little bit too much of the air. Because you like, I mean, I don't know about you, but I like the dough to be a little airy. So I'm going to do this. And a lot of times you can do like when you make a focaccia bread, not to get too complicated, but you can let it rise again. You can just, you know, let it rise again. Let it rise a third time a little bit if you want to make it a little bit more light. Okay, there we go. So essentially you want to do a couple of turns. You want it almost longer than you do wider. It doesn't have to be perfect. See that springiness that comes back? So that's a good dough. And then I'm gonna, oh, there you go. Almost done, la da da da. We got Frank Sinatra playing. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give it a splash of olive oil. Just a touch, okay? And you're going to spread it. Now this is going to be obviously the top of your pizza, okay? Again, the edge is what you want to keep raw, okay? So I'll show you why. I use water. Sometimes the oil makes it stick better, sometimes it doesn't, okay? Beautiful, okay? Now what I want to do is I want to season it. You're almost making like a seasoned bread. Let me wash my hands. Rinse off that gorgeous oil. Oh, I don't know about you guys, I love olive oil. You know, just olive oil and bread, you know, it's the Italian version of butter, as they say. So now what I want to do is I'm going to season that. So I'm going to hit it with some pepper. Okay, love fresh ground pepper. Great ingredient. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it with some salt. Now I always use the gray French sea salt. It's more briny, it's non-processed, has a lot of other flavors, minerals in there that aren't kicked out, so it's actually healthier for you. And just put a couple of sprinkles right on there, and then that's going to dissolve as it cooks, so not to worry, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to put some sauce on there. So we want to spread our sauce. Okay, so we got that sauce. Oh, I'm telling you. That is great sauce. Now we don't want to get too crazy with the sauce. You know, you don't want to use sauce too wet because what's going to happen is everything's going to ooze out. So don't get too crazy with your sauce. The other thing I want to share with you is on the sausage, when I cook the sausage, I strain the sausage. So I don't want to have a lot of grease because that, again, that'll ooze out as well. And this is a little different. Again, it's not going to be like a traditional flat pizza that you're just going to lay there. I don't know why, I just keep wanting to put stuff in front. Okay, so now I've got that totally spread out. Now you can really do anything you want. So I'm going to take the sausage, all right, and I'm going to spread. Oh boy, that smells good. I tell you. I love sweet sausage. It's one of my favorite. I see a lot of people that do pepperoni. I like pepperoni, but I find pepperoni to me in this type of dish, again, my opinion is that it overpowers the flavor of everything, pepperoni. So, and unfortunately, then you lose the beautiful backdrop of all the other flavors. So like I said, I like to cook the sausage first and give it that brown. Now you got that delicious brown caramelized sausage, and that just brings out all those other flavors of the bread and the oil and the sauce. So, all right guys, so now, best part, right? Cheeses. So now I've got two types of cheeses, right? I've got the Parmesan, oh, and the Romano. Oh, the Romano. I love the Romano. Romano's saltier. It's a little bit more, Parmesan's more creamy from cow's milk, and then the Romano's from the goat. That's beautiful. Okay, and then we've got our mozzarella. Oh, just freshly grated mozzarella right there. So this will give you that gooey chew, gives you that nice texture. And And try to, you know, as best as you can see I'm doing here, try to evenly spread it. And whoa, there you go. Holy mackerel, that cheese wanted to get out there. Okay. And then we're gonna hit it like this. And then we'll cut this just like you're doing biscuits almost. If you guys are, you know, you're buying cookies, if you will, pre-done. So it's really easy, a lot of fun, real easy. Okay, now our fast and final ingredient here, our favorite, is gonna be our basil. Oh, that's good. So what I'm gonna do, what I like to do with the basil is, you know, I'm gonna chop it up a little bit here with my hand, only because if you do a big leaf, my opinion is then when you bite into it, you get a big, huge hunk, and I want to have a huge hunk of basil, all right? So we're just gonna take this, oh man, I tell you, pesto, you know, it just reminds me of different forms of pasta, where you can just put it fresh, you know, you just put it right on there. My grandma used to just take a few pieces and in that time of the year and just throw it right out there, you know. It's sweet. And again, remember, you're rolling this up, so you're multiplying, if you will, some of the ingredients you're putting on it, so you don't have to put it on as much as you think, if you will. Forget about it. That's what we're doing. Like Sicilian, Brooklyn, you gotta have a little attitude sometimes when you make pizza. Comes out better, I think, but good stuff. Okay, so how easy is that, right? So now what we're gonna wanna do is we wanna roll this, we wanna roll it so that it all fits. So I'm gonna grab two things. I'm gonna grab that, huh? Look at that, don't mess with me in the kitchen with that puppy in my hand. All right, and then I'm gonna grab my baker's knife. So let me grab this out of the way. All right guys, so here comes the fun part. This is the part where the kids want to do it, but when the kids get involved, they usually wreck it. Okay? So we're just going to take it. Look how easy this is. It's fun, isn't it? How you doing? We got a little Bobby Darin playing. And kind of like our sausage roll. Remember we did our sausage roll video? That was a lot of fun. So you're kind of there, but not quite, right? And then what I'm going to do, and don't worry about the mess that occurs here. It's meaningless, okay? Beautiful. Okay, now this is the part I was telling you about before. You see that? I like to do a little water on that. That's simple, okay? Because what you want to do is you want to create like a little glue, you know, and then I'm going to pull it. So you're going to try to seal it, right? See how you got that water? Now this is a little short on that side. Don't even worry about it. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful, right? Perfect. It's going to ooze out. It's going to make a mess. Who cares? Don't worry about it, okay? Very easy. And then let me clean this up. 2 seconds. I'm going to scrape it. Isn't that baker's knife great? Okay, now what I want to do is I've got my little shapes, okay? So I'm going to take one of these, right? And I've got a little spray. Now this is olive oil spray, so it's nothing but olive oil. So I don't like any of the other oils. If you use a vegetable oil, it doesn't add flavor and it gets it greasy. And if you use the canola oil, canola oil doesn't add any flavor. It's terrible, in my opinion. So, all right, so there you go. So I've got some nice olive oil. Now remember, these things are only how big, right? They're only about, say, 2 inches. So you're only going the depth of that is all that's going to fit in there. So now you got to have a nice sharp knife. All right, so I'm gonna sharpen that. Okay, so that's sharp, right? So now that is nice and sharp, I'm gonna draw it across. So again, I'm only gonna want that thickness, no more, okay? So you gotta let the knife draw through it, and you gotta make sure your knife is sharp, okay? And then I'm just gonna pop it right in there. Isn't that beautiful? Okay? So same thing, now I've got another 2 inches here. I'm hitting some sausage. And this is the toughest part because you're going to want to push it through, but if you do it, you'll ruin it, okay? So there you go, look at it. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And then don't mess around with it. You don't have a lot of time. Look at all the beautiful flavors in there. See that? See your basil? Oh man, that is good. Okay, same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these, fill these up, and then we're going to pop them in the oven. And then my favorite part, obviously, we're going to eat them. So I'll talk to you guys in a minute. All right, so look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So just a tip, when you're cutting them, just make sure they fit. You hold it tight and they fit in there. Some of them fit a little easier because the width of your roll might be a little different, all right? That's perfect. So like I said, I got the oven at 450. So these are going to be anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. Shouldn't be more than 15 minutes. So just keep an eye on them. One of the other tips I'll give you guys is a lot of times ovens will heat, you know, from front, back, side to side a little differently. So just keep an eye. Open them up. Sometimes you got to turn them around and what have you, but we want them to cook evenly. We want them to brown and crisp on the outside. We're going to put it in a little bit of a puddle of sauce, and then we're going to sprinkle with a little our sprinkles, which is going to be our cheese. All right, it's going to be absolutely delicious. I'll talk to you guys in a couple minutes. So it was exactly 15 minutes, all right? So I just took a peek at them. Woo! Let me tell you, that is awesome. 400 degrees, look at that, right there. Ho ho! Now that's a cupcake I want to eat right there. Forget about it. I'll tell you, just the smell. The cheese, the basil, the sausage, you can smell all of it. And aren't those cute? They're perfect. So what I'm doing right now, even though I know I'm talking to you in the camera, I'm actually trying to pick out the best one that I want to eat right now. Because they look good. And you got that nice crisp on the outside. Right, they're going to be a little bit doughier, a little bit gooier on the inside, but man, they are absolutely perfect. You see how the cheese browned and got crispy on the outside, along with the sausage? Absolutely great. So I'm going to let these cool just for a couple minutes, and then I'll tune back with you guys, and my favorite part, obviously, we're going to take a taste. Talk to you guys in a moment. All right, I just want to show you, these cooled for maybe 5 minutes, 6 minutes, and then what I'm going to do, see how easy they come out? Isn't that perfect? So easy, right? And then I'm just going to put a little... Just set that right on the side. How absolutely perfect is that, right? You got the cheese, got a little sauce. Now, the Italian sprinkles. It's not sugar, okay? What it is, Romano Parmesan cheese. So I'm just gonna do a nice light little sprinkle, just to give it a nice garnish. Oh, does that just look absolutely delicious? And that's fun, it's easy, it's quick. So like I said, you could do one shot like that, or you could do 3 or 4 on a plate with sauce and make it an entree. So we got to bite into that, so let's get started. All right, guys, you ready? Ha, I just love that. I never can get over how cute those things are. All right, so here we go. So now you can bite right into it. I don't want to, you know, you can go just like this. That's one way to do it. All right, so we can do that. So I'm going to dip it right in there. The only challenge with these, so you know, is once you start biting into it, they fall apart. So hold the plate close to you. Oh my Lord. Still hot. I'll tell you. What jumps out at me right away is that sauce. And then it's got that cheese. And then the sausage, I got a beautiful, perfect bite size of basil right there. Oh my God. And then the outside of the dough is just crispy along with the top, which has got that little crunch to it. Oh boy. And then you can taste that depth of flavor with the sausage and those different cheeses. It's so fun, it's easy. Oh my God, I'm so eating all this after this camera's off, I'm gonna tell you right now. That is delicious. My biggest challenge right now in thinking was I was gonna go for bite number 2, but I decided not to. They're fun, they're healthy, they're nutritious, they're just something fun to do. Different spin on pizza. Right out of Brooklyn or Sicily. It's not, but it sounds kind of cool, right? Forget about it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's recipe. Make sure you tune in for all our other recipes. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Make sure you take a look at our olive oil. And make sure you take some time with your friends and your family. Set some traditions, explore, and certainly celebrate your heritage. Until next week, bon appetit. Talk to you guys next week.
It's the